Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video. Now in this video, we're going to be setting up our scenes, or also known as camera views, and then we're going to change the view mode to parallel projection, which is also an ortho mode, and finally we're going to export JPEGs out of our plans and elevations. It's super simple to do, so let's get started. So to create a scene in SketchUp, you need to activate the default ray, and in the bottom of the default ray, we have something called scenes. So scenes basically is the camera view in SketchUp, and it's super important to have your scene set up right from the beginning before you get into modeling. So I'm going to create my scene by clicking on the add scene button or the plus button here. So this would create a camera view. Now let's say I orbit and move to another side, and I want to go back to that original camera view. All I need to do is click on scene 1 here on the top left, and it would go back to the scene view. So each time you click on plus, it would always create a tab on the top here. Now I'm going to set up my plans and elevation views. So to do that, I need to switch from my perspective view to something called parallel projection. So to do that, go to camera and click on parallel projection. So essentially a parallel projection mode is a three-dimensional space like what you can see here, but the lines in the three-dimensional space are always parallel together. So you can see that this line is parallel to this line and this line is parallel to this line. Whereas in perspective mode, you have a 3-point perspective where these lines actually converge to a vanishing point in space. We learn more about perspective and parallel projection generally in drawing courses and also in architectural school and other artistic courses. It's something super interesting, so I would definitely recommend you guys to give it a read. So now we're going to go to our parallel projection mode, and now we need to set up a plan view. So to set up our plan view, go to camera, click on standard views and click on top. So this is our plan view, and now we need to create a scene for our plan view. So I'm going to create a new scene by clicking on the plus button here, and we have created our scene. I would encourage you guys to also rename the scene. So you can right click here and click on rename, and I'm going to call this top view. So now you can switch between scenes as well. So if I go to scene 1, it switches back to our perspective view mode. If I click on top view, it switches to our top view. You can also switch on the shadows to give it more of a cool effect. So go to view and click on shadows. And if you want to adjust the settings in the shadows, you can go to your shadows dialog box here in the default ray and then adjust the settings accordingly. Once you've adjusted the settings, it's super important to update the scene. So right click and click on update. Now if you don't update the scene, I haven't clicked on update yet, and if I go back to top view, it removes those settings and goes back to the original scene settings. So always make sure as soon as you make any changes that you update the scene. So I'm going to update the scene again. Let me just go to shadows again to check where the shadows are. Alright, I'm happy with this and I can update. Now if your system is slow and if your shadows are on, it's going to start hanging your system. So it's a good idea to switch off shadows after you've updated the settings. So I'm going to update the view as well. Just zoom out and zoom in so that it's center of the screen, and then switch off the shadows and then update the view. Alright, I can delete Sumele for now because we don't need this scene. So this is our plan view, and now we can create our front view. So to create our front view, all we need to do is go to camera, click on standard views and click on front. So this is our front view, and I'm going to create another scene. So right click here and click on add scene. So there's two ways to add scenes. You can either right click here or you can go to scenes here and click on the plus button. So I'm going to rename this, call this front scene or front view. Click on update. Now you don't notice that I gave a shortcut for parallel projection and also top view. The reason is when I'm designing a space for a client, when I'm doing an interior design project, it's super simple for me to go to the plan view by simply pressing Alt W to switch to parallel projection and then pressing Alt T to go to the plan view. This helps me to model faster, move stuff around easily, and also speed up my workflow. So you guys can go ahead and do that as well, where you can change the shortcut to Alt plus W and the top view. If you want to know how to change the shortcut, go to Windows and go to Preferences, then go to Shortcuts and search for Palette Projection. And then you need to simply type in Alt W and press the plus button here. I've already assigned, but I'm going to press yes anyways. And also make sure you go to Top View and press Alt T. Finally, I also have given a shortcut for the front view. I haven't given it, so it's going to be Alt and F. And then finally press OK. So now I can switch between perspective and palette projection mode. Go to the front view, the top view, super fast. Now we need to export these views. So go to your top view. I want to export it with the shadows. So go View, Shadows. And then to export, simply go to File, Export, and click on 2D Graphic. Now we need to give a name for this. I'm going to keep it as Abstract Art 3D Art. Call this top view. And place it in the directory of your choice. You can also change the format. So mine is a JPEG format. And in SketchUp Pro, you have the option to save it as a PDF, EPS file, bitmap, JPEG, TIFF, PNG, and also AutoCAD. I will be showing this later in the main course. For now, I'm going to save it as a JPEG. Check the options. In case you want to increase the size, you can do so here as well. I'm going to use the Use View Size. Press OK and then click on Export. I'm also going to go to Front View. Go to Shadows. You can change the shadow settings a bit. You need to understand from where the shadows are falling. So this is a north. And right now, it's set up to fall from the morning sun. So I'm going to click on this again. Set it up like this. Switch on the shadows. And that should be fine. Alright. Once you're happy with the scene, go to File, click on Export 2D Graphic, and change this to the front view. Let's check out our exports. So congratulations, you've just created your first 2 images of a SketchUp. I'm super proud of y'all, and I hope you found the process super simple. In the next few videos, we're going to learn how to create a room and use these simple techniques to create an awesome interior design. So I'll see you guys in the next few videos. Cheers.